everyone, Michaela with LearnWire here, and today we are going to go over ReelCraft. Now, ReelCraft is a generative AI program that allows you to transform prompts into animated storytelling. This is best going to be used by content creators, educators, and marketers, and it's going to be a great alternative to Adobe Animate, Canva, and Synthesia. It currently has a 4.5 taco rating across 28 reviews, and it is currently on sale. This deal does end in about a week, so make sure that you pick this up if you're interested. ReelCraft was created by Gaurav Henry, and looking at the questions, looks like he is pretty responsive with answering questions, and it looks like he does respond to most, if not every single review. There are 3 different licensing tiers that you can choose from. Tier 1, starting at $59, comes with all available features. You get 250 credits per month, 10 gigs of storage, and you can clone 1 voice per month. The Tier 2 license, at $119, includes all available features. You get 500 credits per month, 20 gigs of storage, voice cloning of up to 3 voices per month, and you also get white labeling. And finally, the Tier 3 license, at $299, comes with all available features, 3,000 credits per month, 50 gigs of storage, voice cloning of up to 5 voices per month, white labeling, and you also get Pro Mode, which is the fully customizable storytelling feature. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. This is the ReelCraft dashboard. Right away, we can input a prompt or a story right here to generate our video. We can choose between our different graphics type. So we have our 4K image, the 4K animation, and the 3D animation. We can also customize our video settings right here. So we have our music, which does have a default, or if we click on it, we can upload our own music, or we can say that we don't want any background music. I'll leave it with the default. We can choose our ratio. So we have 16:9, which is going to be the typical horizontal video, or we have the 9:16 aspect ratio, which is your typical vertical video. I will leave it at that. We can also choose our voiceover artist. There's a few different ones that we can choose from. It starts with Rachel.
Change in all things is sweet.
There's Drew, Clyde, Dami, Rajesh, Monica, Dave, Jessica, Martin Lee, Coco Lee, Hamid, Carolina, and Martin Osborne. You'll notice that as you hover over these, it kind of gives some little descriptor words. So you can pick the one that works exactly for your needs. You can also upload a file of your own voice, and it will use your voice to narrate. Let's go ahead and keep on Rachel. And we can also choose our content. So we have a concept explanation, we have stories, historical, a travel blog, a biography, or wishes, quotes, and thoughts. We'll do the story. You can also choose the style that you want the video to be in. So we have cartoon, realistic, anime, comics, watercolor, clay, neon, paper cut, or cinematic. We'll keep it at cartoon. And then you can also choose if you want this to be a public video or a private video. I found just this short little story right here. I'm going to paste it in here. And we will make our video first off with the 4K image. Here, so we can change our content type. We will keep it at stories. We can also change our prompt type. So we can transform the idea into a script. We can keep it as is, as we pasted, or we can enhance the rough sketch of the script. I don't really want it to change. I think it's pretty complete. So let's hit continue. Here's our video. It's all done. One thing I noticed that I do not like at all is that I probably sat here for a solid 30 seconds waiting for the video to like process, right? And I checked my email and I had an email saying that my video was ready and that I could view it in my dashboard, right? So I went to the dashboard and went to view it, and it still brought me to the video processing page. So what I had to do is I had to go to the dashboard, hit the 3 dots, get the share link on the video, and then paste that into a browser, and it finally brought me here. So let's watch it, see how it goes.
A taxi passenger tapped the driver on the shoulder to ask him a question. The driver screamed, lost control of the car, nearly hit a bus, went up on the footpath, and stopped inches from a shop window. For a second, everything was quiet in the cab. Then the driver said, "Look, mate, don't ever do that again. You scared the living daylights out of me." The passenger apologized and said, "I didn't realize that a little tap would scare you so much." The driver replied, "Sorry, it's not really your fault. Today is my first day as a cab driver. I've been driving a funeral van for the last 25 years.
Create amazing videos like this using ReelCraft AI.
First thing I noticed, obviously, very obviously, the images used are AI images. We can see here, it looks like he's looking out the side window maybe, or the back window. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure which window this is supposed to be. But then when we go to the taxi driver, there's no one behind him. So it looks like the taxi driver's in the back window. We have some weird looking shapes in this car right behind. There was one car that had no one in it. It was just kind of driving. This car has no one in it. There's no one there. The taxi is, that isn't any text. The taxi driver looks the same across. This makes zero sense. This is the back, but the seat is as if this is the back. Oh, taxi driver looks different between here, and here-ish. So, I mean, it's very obviously AI. If you're looking for this to be like a professional video, it's not going to work in a professional video. If you're just looking for this to be kind of like a personal project or maybe a concept video, I could see this working. But you very much can tell that this is AI. It's also got that AI look to it. It did generate pictures that kind of follow the story I was looking for. It didn't really show the guy tapping on the taxi driver's shoulder or anything like that. It's just pretty plain, pretty simple. But this is kind of like a picture slideshow. So it is doing what it said that it was doing. The AI voice worked well. It actually said everything. It wasn't janky. It was pretty smooth. It was a pretty smooth voice. The background music, it didn't really fit the scenario. We were kind of going for a joke, and it was much more like, it's more of a heartfelt song than probably the comedic song that I would have chosen. But all in all, it did do what it said that it would do. So let's go ahead and try out another type. Let's do the 4K animation. I'm going to use the exact same story that we used, just so that it's the same across. We'll do 4K animation, and we will keep it all the same. Keep cartoon, don't change my script, it's a story, and let's continue on. Now, for this video, we were able to actually, it did pull up in the dashboard, so we can see our story, we can edit our story if we need to. We have our characters, we have the passenger, and a quick description of each of the characters. So, man, early 30s, short black hair, blue eyes, taxi driver, etc., etc. They came up with these character designs themselves. I had no input on how these characters would look. So it's really cool that it does do that. And then if we want to edit these characteristics, change how they look, we can hit that edit button and it will change it. We can also take a look at our storyboard. So we have scene 1, we have scene 2, scene 3, scene 4. Then we can also see what the voiceover is going to be. And we can also add an image, we can add a scene, we can delete a scene, or we can edit the music entirely. All right, let's go ahead and watch our video.
A taxi passenger tapped the driver on the shoulder to ask him a question. The driver screamed, lost control of the car, nearly hit a bus, went up on the footpath, and stopped inches from a shop window. For a second, everything was quiet in the cab. Then the driver said, "Look, mate, don't ever do that again. You scared the living daylights out of me." The passenger apologized and said, "I didn't realize that a little tap would scare you so much." The driver replied, "Sorry, it's not really your fault. Today is my first day as a cab driver. I've been driving a funeral van for the last 25 years.
Create amazing videos like this using ReelCraft AI.
Again, it was okay. It kind of was just more of the slideshow that we were doing. There was a little bit of animation. Sorry, I'm distracted. This guy's hair is... First off, his head is a little deformed right here, but his hair is on the inside of this taxi. So, sorry, that distracted me. What is this? This was okay. It felt more like a slideshow with basic animation. It didn't really feel like it was an animated story or like a TV show or anything. It was just essentially pictures with some basic movement on it. The video, even more so, you can definitely tell it's AI. I mean, here, it was a story about taxis, and we've got two school buses facing each other, kind of going back and forth. The mouths don't match what is actually being said. You know, the words are gibberish. They aren't actually words. It just is, It very much looks like AI, and it's very uncanny in places, like here. What is that? It doesn't follow a ton. I mean, we've got the basic premise from the story of, oh, it's a taxi driver. So we've got the taxi driver and the taxi passenger, but we don't have much in the way of the end with the funeral hearse. I would have liked to see some content around that, maybe. But, I mean, it's just more of the same. The pictures don't really make sense. His clothing changes. We've got, this isn't physically possible for your neck to do without something being wrong. So, I mean, it's okay. Again, I would probably use this more as a concept video for something that would be worked on in the future. But it's not, you shouldn't use this as a professional thing in a professional setting. I wouldn't say that this should be your final product. It's just not there. The animation is weird and a little bit janky. It's just not what it should be for a professional grade animation style video. What is that? What is on that taxi? Every shot leaves me curious about what something is supposed to be. Also, we somehow got two guys in the back here. All right, and then last but not least, let's go ahead and take a look at this 3D animation. Again, use the same text, 3D animation. We'll continue with the 3D animation. All right, and we do have a few more different animation styles that we could use. We have the tune, we have this style, we have this style, that style, this style, this style. Perfect. We'll just keep with the standard, the default, and we will create. Continue, don't change my script, and we are generating our story once again. And last but not least, this is our 3D animated video. Let's take a look.
A taxi passenger tapped the driver on the shoulder to ask him a question. The driver screamed, lost control of the car, nearly hit a bus, went up on the footpath, and stopped inches from a shop window. For a second, everything was quiet in the cab. Then the driver said, "Look, mate, don't ever do that again. You scared the living daylights out of me." The passenger apologized and said, "I didn't realize that a little tap would scare you so much." The driver replied, "Sorry, it's not really your fault. Today is my first day as a cab driver. I've been driving a funeral van for the last 25 years.
Create amazing videos like this using ReelCraft AI.
Okay, yep. So, I mean, just more of the same. There's some uncanny stuff in there. I think my favorite part was this, with the guy's giant head sticking out of the windshield screaming. But it's still more of the same. You can definitely tell it's AI. You shouldn't use this as a professional setting. There's definitely some morphing going on with some of the characters, and at one point I wasn't sure who each person was supposed to be. Now down below, we do have some featured videos that we can see. This will let us watch and see what others have created, maybe get some inspirations or anything like that. So we can visit our dashboard. This is going to show us all of the videos that we've made so far. We can click on these three dots and we can edit the video, share the video, or delete the video. And then we can also upload specific assets. So maybe we have a picture that we want to add to our video. We can upload that here, or we can upload some background music or some voice samples or some images or anything like that. That was ReelCraft. All in all, I'd probably give it a solid, 3.5. It felt like all of the videos were just images with varying degrees of animation added to it. It didn't actually feel like an animated video or an animated show or anything like that. It was all just kind of, picture with, it was either still picture with some animation, picture with a little more animation, right? It wasn't a full-fledged animation. It was just a moving picture, if that makes sense. Additionally, you can definitely tell that this was made by AI. Some of the images were extremely uncanny, and I don't think any of this would fly in a professional setting. But it is fun to mess around with, it's fun to play with. But if they want this to be used in a professional setting, it's going to need a lot more work. It did take a long time to generate the videos, which does make sense. But especially with that first video, when it told me, oh, video's ready, and then I navigated to it, and it was just like, oh, video is generating, and I had to go a roundabout way to actually view the video. Not a huge fan of that. If you have any questions, comments, anything on this video, please don't be afraid to put them in the comment section below. And as always, I will see you next time. Goodbye.